Philippine Information Agency, Kapihan na Zamboanga. Sharing with you timely, accurate, and relevant information regarding government programs, projects, and activities. Catch us every Thursday at 4 p.m. on e-media.
Buenos dias, Zamboanga! Welcome sa PIA Kapihan na Zamboanga sa SM City Minpro, hatid ng Philippine Information Agency, SM City Minpro, MCTV, and e-media. Mapapanood ninyo ng live ang ating programa via PIA Western Mindanao Facebook page and other government agencies' Facebook pages including PRO9. We are also live at Pagadian Media, Isa TV Channel 17, PCH Cable TV, and via cable televisions here in Zamboanga at MCTV and e-media. Ang Kapihan na Zamboanga po will discuss important topics that will help you make more informed decisions wherever you are. And with that po, we would like to welcome everyone sa ating episode ngayong araw. Of course, I'd like to greet our Barangay Information Officers Network sa buong Zamboanga City po, ang ating 98 barangays. Welcome po sa ating programa na parati pong nakatutok sa atin. Ngayon po pag-uusapan natin, ang guest po natin for the day is our best Barangay Information Officer po ng Zamboanga City. For the information of everyone po, no, ang Zamboanga City po or ang buong Zamboanga Peninsula sa pamumuno po, no, or sa pangunguna po ng Philippine Information Agency, kasama po ang ating mga local government units, ay mayroon po tayong mga Barangay Information Officers. At ito pong network na ito ang tumutulong sa atin para po maihayag ang ating mga programa, ang mga programa po ng gobyerno, lalong-lalo na po ng mga local government units para po sa ating mga komunidad. At ngayon po pag-uusapan natin ang importance of information, lalo na po ngayon sa panahon ng digital era po, and of course, ang po ng impormasyon para sa ating mga komunidad. At makakasama natin muli, like I mentioned po, ang ating best Barangay Information Officer po ng year 2025 dito sa Zamboanga City. We have Kagawad Jesus Inot of Barangay Bualan.
Buenos dias din po sa lahat, and I am thankful being a part of this program this afternoon and ready to share anything about information in my barangay.
Thank you very much po. And yun nga po, like I mentioned, every year po since 2021, nagkakaroon po tayo ng ating awarding kung sino po yung mga best barangay information officer natin. Hindi lang po sa Zamboanga City, that includes Isabela City and other mga provinces po, no. Meron din po tayong mga municipal information officers in Zamboanga Sibugay, Zamboanga del Norte, and Zamboanga del Sur. And kaya nga po tayo andito ngayon dahil pag-uusapan natin, lalong-lalo na po ngayong panahon na medyo lumalaganap na yung ating false information, disinformation, and misinformation. Gaano ba kahalaga, no, na meron tayong information officer or mga multipliers po ng mga legit, correct, and right information sa ating mga communities. So, ito po, patungkol naman po muna sa award, Kagawad. What does the award Best Barangay Information Officer of the Year mean to you and the community of Barangay Bualan?
To God be the glory, I am very thankful receiving that award, but actually, though the award was presented to me, but it serves that I am only the representative of that collective efforts from the barangay officials, the entire barangay staff, the residents of Bualan, and of course my fellow barangay information officers from all over the 98 barangays of the city, because I believe without them, I could not have received the award. So for me, the award serves as a daily reminder that I have to go further and do better for me not to put into shame those individuals, the group who assessed and evaluated and finally decided me to be the recipient of the award as Best Barangay Information of the Year for Zamboanga City. And it also serves as a motivation that I have to do better again, not only on my role as information officer, but in all other jobs that I have to undertake. Realizing that at the end of time, good deeds are both rewarded and awarded. So we have to try our best every day, every time we are faced with any obligation in our life.
Very inspiring po, no, Kagawad, na we are doing this, empowering this, and actually nag-umpisa po yung Barangay Information Officers as volunteer, no? Volunteer lang talaga po itong ginagawa po ng ating mga info officers po sa kada barangay di aton aki na Zamboanga City. Tan volunteer sila kay kere sila na el di aton mga komunidad ay sabi ko sa el deberasan ko sa el mga impormasyon estaba na gobyerno. So in your experience po kagawad, how important po ang accurate and timely information in the barangay level?
Yes, accurate and timely information in the barangay level is very important because the first purpose of disseminating information is to make our people informed and help them on their needs. But if you will disseminate the wrong information, if you will misinform the people, instead of helping them, you are destroying or giving them some circumstances that supposedly they were not to face. So the accurate information is very important. As Barangay Information Officer, I have to see to it that the information will reach to the people correctly and timely. Because if I will disseminate the information with no accuracy, it's not only that I will mislead the people, but also I will create some panic on the part of the people. I will let people do things, waste efforts, and waste resources, doing things that is not supposedly to be done because of the wrong information that I have disseminated. So it must be timely also because for the people to be able to prepare, especially in times or cases of emergency, disaster, or calamities. Because informing them timely or even ahead of time could give them enough time to prepare. So the possibility is they will not become a victim of any disaster or calamities that will come in the future if the information has reached to their doorstep at a very proper timing.
Actually, tama kagawad no na it is important, especially in the communities, kasi there are times na nahihirapan tayo mag-reach sa ating mga communities, especially mga national government agencies. And that's why the role of the Barangay Information Officers are very relevant. Talagang kailangan, no? Kailangan po ng ating mga local government units. And with that po, baka po pwede ninyo ma-share, kagawad, na baka ma-apply din ng mga ibang barangays, no, ibang LGU, on how do you ensure that information you share reaches all sectors, including those with limited access, lalo na po sa digital platforms?
That is actually a very good question. Actually, those are the things that we meet on the field on how could our information reach to the concern or our targeted individuals. So on the part of Barangay Bualan, the best practices are we have 5 ways in disseminating information. First, we have that through our Facebook page, all information from the barangay or from any other government agency, including NGOs and some private sectors, we post them on the barangay page or the official Facebook page of the barangay. Then second, we make use of our zonal leader. We have some zonal leaders from the different zones. When there is a need to inform our people up to the far-flung areas, we use our zonal leader. We let them go house to house or door to door and share the information supposedly to be disseminated to them through the Facebook page. Then another, we have that in Barangay Bualan, we have that what we call a speaker system wherein we have 7 zones. In these 7 zones, we have a speaker installed. This installation of the 7 speakers are actually on some strategical areas or ideal places, those areas that are prone to accident or floodings and some other calamities. So whenever we want to disseminate information, we also announce them through this speaker system of the barangay. Another, we also apply the traditional way, which is the, I think, recorridas. We use barangay service. Our barangay service has that megaphone or built-in speaker. So we used to inform the people, especially on the peak hours, that is 5 to 6:30, where people are usually on the store, on the market, or elsewhere. So that peak hours, we use that peak hours to disseminate all the people on the street on what is happening or what we want them to be informed. So we use the recorridas. And we have the reserve one, that is through the use of our tanod. If we have a targeted people or individual to whom we address our communication, then we did not receive any feedback from them. So meaning to say, it seemed to be that they did not receive our information. So we use our tanod. We let our tanod to visit on their respective home or again deliver the information door to door until they will be informed. We want to see to it that the information from the barangay will reach our target residents or inhabitants.
So you have 5 kagawad, no? Meron tayong 5 na steps gawa.
Yes.
Or mga 5 options na ginagawa nila when they want to inform their constituents. So baka naman pwede din siyang ma-apply, no, sa ibang barangay. I know that different barangays or different local government units have different challenges din and different strengths, no. Kung alam nila yan, you know if what is the strength or what is effective in your barangay when it comes to information dissemination. So ito yung mga ginagawa na applicable sa Barangay Bualan. And I know po na one of the challenges nowadays is the fake news or yung, like I said, misinformation. Major concern na talaga siya, especially with the coming of social media, use of social media. So what practical steps po do you take, no, to combat po itong mga misinformation in your barangay?
Actually, again, fake news is one of the common problems that we face in trying to get our people informed. Actually, what I am saying, what I am expressing here, I am not saying that this could be applicable to some other barangays because as you have been saying, different barangays have different situations. So of course, we have different strategies in informing our people. So in Barangay Bualan, we have that two-way process in assuring to the people that they will receive the correct and truthful information. First, we advise them to receive information only from the official sources from the barangay. As I made mention, that is through the Facebook page, through our zonal officers, through the recorridas, and through that speaker system in the barangay. And finally, through our barangay tanods. And as barangay information officer, I see to it that before I will disseminate the information, I will check the veracity or the legitimacy of the information. If that is a signed memorandum, then that is of no risk. I have to disseminate it immediately. But if that is only a verbal instruction, so I should not take it as a hearsay. I have to consult the authority who disseminated that information or the source of that information before I will publish it or I will disseminate it to my people. It's a two-way test. The test before disseminating, before sharing, and on the part of the residents, the test of me or having it from the official sources from the barangay.
Actually, napakaganda po ng strategy ni Kagawad, no, because you yourself should be, actually this is not only for the barangay information officers or yung mga information officers. Should be applied all individuals po na to double check, triple check before you share something. Especially in social media na one click lang, shared dayon, no, Kagawad. So, for you po as a barangay information officer, what role is your role playing your role as strengthening trust between the government and the constituents or the people po? How important it is?
For me, that is the most crucial part that a barangay information officer and other information officer from other government agencies that we should play, no? Because sometimes this is on my own understanding, analysis, and experience. Sometimes why our community or our government is hard to experience progress and development simply because it's hard also sometimes to get or have the obedience of the people. So I analyze why sometimes it's hard to have the obedience or compliance of the people to all the government mandates. It is because sometimes people lack this trust to the government. Practically speaking, for an ordinary individual who is always exposed with some anomalies in the government like the flood control program and some others, who individual, who Filipino will immediately trust with our government. So the role of the Barangay Information Officer on my part, I always explain to the people what really the government wants from us. The benefits of the mandates, the benefits of the policies or rules being implemented by the government. I make them understand on its benefits to the people. And I explain it to them, then making them understand on how the mandates or the policy of the government will be beneficial to the people, how fair it is. People will learn to appreciate the mandates through our information. Then from that appreciation, people will learn to become obedient and will learn to become compliant. It's a matter of making the people understand, giving transparency to the people, because when there is no secret between the government and the people, trust will be built on the part of the people. So let us try, as a barangay information officer, I always first try to understand the side of the people of why sometimes they are too, should I use the word, hard-headed or hard to comply with the mandates of the government because of some of their negative experiences on their side from the government. So I have to explain it to them that they are two different things. If we have problem in understanding how our government runs, how our system runs, it should not affect everything in the government. The general concept of the government is to help our people and to protect the general welfare of our people. If there are problems, then that is a part of being not perfect in this world. And I have to share this, no, why I am saying this, that why sometimes it is hard to our people comply or abide with the mandate of the government or law. I got this experience way back during the pandemic time. So during the pandemic time, we were so pressured. It was a hectic schedule for us to implement the rules, policies, and mandates of the government. But I experienced that it was quite hard for us to let our people obey with all the mandates of the government. Why? Because one time, I was confronted with a guy in our barangay when I told him, why is it you are still outside this your residence at this prohibited time, which was, I think, that was already 10 p.m. So he answered to me very gently in a nice voice, in a well-modulated voice, in a nice manner, but with something that is hard to accept, but I still try to explain to him. Actually, what he said, Kagawat, we seem not to believe with all what the government is exposing regarding the pandemic 19, the COVID pandemic 19. He cited a particular situation regarding his cousin who was hospitalized, then blank, blank, blank. I am not to explain it anymore. So on which he started to lose his trust with what the authority is implementing during that COVID-19 pandemic. So I got that view. That is why it is hard for us to make our people comply or abide with the mandate of the government because of their distrust to some of the individuals in the system. So it is our role, me as a barangay information officer, I always try to make my people understand the benefit of the mandate or laws that the government is implementing, executive orders, city ordinance, and some others, making them understand on the benefit that they will get, the entire population will get, somehow convince them that the government is right in implementing those laws or those mandates. So in doing so, in a little way, we can make them comply or abide with the government rules, laws, and mandate for the people.
Based from your experience, Kagawad, no? Based from the experience you shared to us also, actually, uno ng mga challenges di aton is that, or siguro uno ng mga reasons why there is low trust in the government, maybe because of the continuous false information, misinformation that they also read online, they hear from the people, from the community. So uno gatsa ng mga challenges di aton. So kosa para kuntigo, kosa mga major challenge gat kuntigo, no? Since eto on the ground, manggatu on the barangay level, major challenge gayot in letting the people understand and the information that we are giving them.
See, as I've been saying, no, to gain back their trust, I explain to them the benefit of the information that I am disseminating, and I explain to them that if there are, should I say, some negative things happening in our government, si naman ko sa mga hindi amo kay tapasa, that is part of the being not perfect. But we have to focus on the mandate or law itself that is to be implemented, which is very beneficial to all and to the community. And explaining it to them, somehow, we can regain back their trust and confidence to the government. And for me, if I am to share an opinion, it should be that when we post information or publish information, it should be concluded, because like what I am directly having it from the expression of the people, because we are on the grassroots level, we are on the field. The very suspense one, the controversy on the flood control anomaly or alleged anomaly. So until now, the people is waiting if what is the final verdict or reaction the government has taken into to punish or to discipline those officials involved on those alleged anomalies on the flood control program. So I think yes, we cannot blame them because it has not been made clear to the people on the conclusion on those alleged issues and information published or disseminated to the public. So on my part, the government should also bring the issues into conclusion for the people to be convinced on the final action taken by the government, especially when there are irregularities happening within the government.
Okay. So para konti ko kagawad, do you think that people or your community would like to hear the action of the government? Maskera sila uwi or mira mga impormasyon ko sa ba el aksyon del gobierno? Tama.
Yes, kay actually no human as we are, when we hear those alleged anomalies, we are being affected thinking that it comes from our own money, from the taxes that we are paying, from the high prices of commodities that we are buying. Then it so happened that it has only been wasted through the personal interest of some, and yet there could be no justice on our part. So parang alya daw taperde gana el mga los demás keda obedient, man take part ng mga government undertakings, activities, thinking that it could happen the same way or it could be wasted the same way as the alleged anomalies, more particularly on that flood control alleged irregularities.
So para kuntigo kagawad, if you are going to address the community no of your barangay, kosa to pwede abla for them to be able to give importance to information?
Yes, that is why I also encourage the residents to always be abreast with what is happening around, and I always tell the residents, encourage them to have that two sides of the coin, not only to focus on the one accusing those officials in the government, but also hear also from the side of those being alleged of those anomalies. So I allow them to have the two sides of the coins, the two sides of the parties, for them also to have their own interpretation on what is really happening to our society nowadays.
Lastly na lang po kagawad, what is your message po sa inyong kapwa din barangay information officers? Actually, hindi lang Aquino na Zamboanga City. We have a lot of barangay information officers na established in Region 9 and I think in other regions also. Yat siya niyagat kita mga barangay IO. So, ko sa ito pwede man share kanila na best practices también del de ustedes barangay na message para kanila to continue the work because medyo largo pa el di atong trabaho no when it comes to information, but kosa dito yung mensahe for them?
To my colleagues or my fellow barangay information officer, simply continue our job. That is our role of informing our constituents and informing the public. If we succeed, then that is our job of having them be informed. If we fail, then that is part of the being not perfect and try to find the correction on how to be corrected. And continue doing all the efforts of disseminating the correct information on its proper time or timely for our people to be properly also informed and to be benefited from our role as Barangay Information Officer. So with this, I am also appealing, no? I am saying this, that the Barangay Information Officer of the entire country are doing their job. We are doing our job. Because if we are not doing our job, some other government agencies or sectors in the society will not be informed on what is happening in our community. And if we are not doing our job, we will not receive any feedback from our constituents. So my appeal only is that hopefully, since the information system on the barangay level is very well systematized or arranged or very well encouraged or motivated on the grassroots level, which is the barangay, I also appeal that hopefully some other government agencies, especially those with higher authority than the barangay, will do the same. Because sometimes it is sad to note that on the barangay level, we have been trying our best to do everything to keep our people informed, to keep the higher authority or agency in the government also informed. But sometimes we could hardly receive feedback from those concerned government agencies. You know, actually, ma'am, no, it is easy to get feedback from our barangay, from our residents, from our inhabitants. Immediately they react, immediately they respond on whatever information that we disseminate. If it calls for participation, immediately, mostly, not all, but mostly will participate. But it is a sad experience to note that not all of our information being elevated to the next authority or to the agencies with higher jurisdiction than the barangay, not all information that we elevated it unto them, that we receive the response or feedback. That is a sad thing on our part because on the barangay level, though how we try to exert our effort, considering that we have that limited authority, limited jurisdiction, limited resources, so we cannot exactly give all the needs of our people. So problems, issues, and some others. Of course, we have to elevate it to the next other or higher authority than the barangay. If these other authorities, higher authorities than the barangay, will not respond or will not answer to our communication sent to them, so what will happen to the general welfare of our people? So this is what I can say. The barangays in the entire city of Zamboanga have been doing its job, especially as far as communication matter is concerned. But I am not sure if this communication from the barangay will be elevated to the next authority, if this will be answered or tackled down sincerely or religiously by those concerned.
That's why we have this kagawad, no, whole of society, whole of the government approach na it's not only that the barangay is working but it is vice versa. Actually, ang ating mga barangay information officers are not just our multipliers of information. We also get information from the grassroots to us sa national level. So ganun po yung ating working together with our barangay information officers. So thank you very much po Kagawad, no, for giving us knowledge on how you work within your barangay and how you communicate, how you disseminate information, and how helpful po yung mga ginagawa ng ating mga barangay information officers, not for their community but for the entire local government unit and city government of Zamboanga. So thank you very much po. Once again, congratulations po ulit, no, for being our Barangay Information Officer of the Year 2025. So hopefully po this 2026 ay meron na naman po tayong awarding na mangyayari. And thank you very much po, no, for additional more information. You can just follow po yung PIA Western Mindanao Facebook page or if you have questions. And of course, to all the barangay information officers natin, sana po marami tayong nakuhang idea, no, from our best bio po ng 2025 from Kagawad Jesus Inot of Barangay Bualan. Thank you very much po, sir. Once again, thank you po. And
Thank you also, ma'am, for this opportunity, and rest assured, Barangay Bualan, as long as I am the Barangay Information Officer, I will keep on doing whatever information matter that I have to, keeping my people informed, because I believe good governance comes from the people's participation, and the people's participation comes from the right information disseminated to them. That is what I will try not to miss. So thank you, and for that award, thank you for all those behind me, my residents, my colleagues in the barangay service, the barangay staff, and fellow bayon. To God be the glory.
Thank you very much po, sir. And of course, hindi po possible yung mga support or yung mga binibigay po no na best efforts po ng ating mga barangay IOs without the support of their barangay chairperson. So thank you very much din po. And of course, from Barangay Bualan, we have barangay chairperson Angie. Yes, Ma'am Angie Inon. Yes, so yun po. Thank you very much po. And again, thank you sa lahat po ng mga ating mga viewers, and thank you po sa lahat po ng ating mga barangay information officers po na nanonood sa atin linggo-linggo sa ating programa. And thank you to the following sponsors. We have Dunkin, Penguin, Zamboanga, Carimadon, Camiseta, all available here and open to serve you at SM City Minpro. Muli po, magkikita-kita pa tayo sa ating mga susunod na episodes ng Kapihan na Zamboanga sa SM City Minpro. Sa ngalan po muli ng Philippine Information Agency Director General Catherine Chloe De Castro at PIA 9 OIC Jocelyn Alvarez. Ito si Myra Espinosa. Muchísimas gracias.
Mas pinadali na ang government transactions sa tulong ng eGov.ph Super App. Pwedeng-pwede mo nang magawa ang lahat ng ito. I-download ang eGov app sa iyong smartphone o tablet mula sa App Store o Google Play Store. Pagkatapos, ilagay ang iyong mobile number at i-authenticate gamit ang one-time PIN o OTP para marehistro ang iyong account. Saka ilagay ang iyong mga pangunahing impormasyon at kumpletuhin ang facial recognition technology para sa verifikasyon ng iyong pagkakakilanlan. Para sa mas mabilis at mas maayos na serbisyong panggobyerno, gamitin na ang eGov.ph Super App.
Philippine Information Agency, Kapihan na Zamboanga. Sharing with you timely, accurate, and relevant information regarding government programs, projects, and activities. Catch us every Thursday at 4 p.m. on eMedia.